What's up, jerks? Welcome, jerks. How you doing tonight? Doing a last minute impromptu show. Hope some of you find me. I heard there's some other shows live. I didn't even check. Just saw that in the chat. People were like, "There's three different shows on right now. I want to watch." I feel you. I feel you. I wanted to just go up live tonight to go over the audio from court. If you haven't heard it, I'm sure a lot of you have already heard it because it's been out there for a couple days. We just put it out on our YouTube today, but this is the audio from the court hearing for Kelsey Fitzsimmons. I do want to make a couple notes tonight. Number one, we're in the chat, pinned at the top is Kelsey Heels. It's her Give Send Go, her fundraiser. Right now it's at 8,270. I very happy to say that it's at 8,270 because it went up since our last show, our last live stream. You all started kicking in and donating. I saw a lot of donations come in, and I know the family was really happy about that. So if you can afford, if you kick in, you offer some support to Kelsey wherever you are in the world, it's much appreciated. I also want to thank everybody who's been donating to my fund too, because I have a defense fund as well. A lot of you know about it. I'm being sued for defamation, and Zelda did a great show today. I think they're still live with B and DJ and Nan Gallagher. I can't thank them enough, and everybody who's been kicking in to watch that go up today while I'm working. I was working all day. I jumped on there for a few minutes. That's why I have the hat on. Charlie's in here. Uh, Girlfriend has had a busy day as well. She's not home. So I've been taking care of a bunch of dogs all weekend. And now I'm finally home, which is awesome, which I love because I'm going to get to sleep here tonight. Haven't slept here. I've been working all weekend. I didn't get to hang out with Turtle Boy. I didn't get to hang out with anyone. I've just been, because I've been trying to save and earn as much money for this lawsuit as possible. So I say no to nothing. And that's what I've been doing all weekend is working. So I got the hat on. I'm just ready to go, but I wanted to share a few things. Number one, where is it? Hold on one second. I thought I had it in front of me. But the next court dates. Oh, I didn't bring it down. That's all right. I know when they are. The next court date is the big one, Superior Court. This is for the criminal charges. It's October 7th. It's a Tuesday. It's at 9 a.m. Salem, Massachusetts. It's Essex Superior Court. It's one block away from the train station, the MBTA train station, also a bus station. There's also a parking garage there that's pretty cheap. So you can drive in and park at the parking garage. It is Halloween. Halloween does get busy in October in Salem. However, my experience of being in the area is the mornings aren't that bad. So if you get there by 9 a.m., you should be fine with the parking garage if you are driving in. And you can always take the train. That's the easiest way if you're coming in from out of town is to take that commuter rail, Salem train station, walk right over to court. Again, it's Tuesday, October 7th at 9 a.m. One of the viewers on the last show they asked us, what is Kelsey's favorite color? Her dad was watching and got right back to me and said, red is that is her favorite color. However, the family has decided, and Kelsey herself, with her defense, is suggesting that everyone wear the color purple. Purple. Let me say that again. To wear purple. If you want to show support for Kelsey in court, October 7th, you could definitely wear purple. There's another court date for probate that may get rescheduled. It's the last Tuesday in September. I believe that's a September 23rd. I'm going to look at my calendar right here. Yes, Tuesday, September 23rd. That's also in Salem. That's the family and probate court. I'm going to try to be there as well, 9 a.m. But again, that could get rescheduled. So make sure you check with us or whoever you're following for these court dates before you drive in that day, because that one could get rescheduled. But September 23rd, family probate court. If you show up, if you can, if you want to show support for Kelsey and her family, try to wear something purple. The significance of purple, number one, is that is the birthstone color of the baby, of Kelsey's baby. So that's why purple's been picked. And I think purple's a good color too, because someone noted purple is really a combination of red and blue. You put red and blue together and you get purple. So I think that's a good message to send too, because again, this is non-political, non-partisan. Everybody works together on these issues. And I like purple. So hopefully some people bring, some purple clothes, wear a purple t-shirt, shirt, whatever you got. If you have purple, that would be perfect. All right, let's play the video. I want to play this audio again because there's a few things in here. I think it's just, even if you've already heard it, like I have, I think it's worth watching again, listening to it again. And I want to make sure that people hear this, so that if you didn't get to hear it the first time, you get to hear it with us, and we'll all listen together. And there's new things we're going to hear, but this is worth listening to. And I was telling somebody today that was close to this whole situation. I said, this is, as much as it sucks that Kelsey's in jail right now, this may be one of the best things to happen with this judge acting the way that she did on an audio recording, and not letting the stream go out at first, not letting it get released publicly live. That basically I reported on it, got a lot of views, people got a lot of interest in it, and then a day or two later the audio comes out. So it kept it going. It kept the fire going. And I think that the fact that this judge acted so poorly, it sucks. It sucks that she has this judge. It sucks that she has the attitude. But in a way, I think it's a blessing in disguise, because so many people are now focusing on this. And I know that a lot of you are going to show up, and a lot of you are paying attention to what's going on with Kelsey Fitzsimmons. And a lot of it has to do with, we were already kind of checking it out. We weren't sure. And then we heard the judge. We saw what the judge did. And you're saying, "Oh boy, we gotta be on top of this one," and I think fireworks. I think what you're gonna see on October 7th is some fireworks in court, because I think there's a lot more, and that's the thing that's good about this, is that more people are gonna get to see it, even if they exclude the streaming. If people show up in court, we're gonna be reporting on it. We'll try to get the audio recordings after 9 a.m. 9 a.m. this time, October 7th. Both hearings are at 9 a.m. apparently. And if that changes, we'll let you know. But no, I didn't go to the Wilbur. I had to work. I was covering dogs all weekend. I'm trying to raise as much money as I can for my lawsuit, to defend my defamation lawsuit. So I had to work this weekend. I had a bunch of dogs. I was walking and sitting and going back and forth between houses. I'm finally at home tonight. I'm so happy. It's over. But yeah, it's going to be 9 a.m. October 7th is the criminal proceeding. And that's where I think you're going to see some fireworks. You might see some fireworks in the September family probate too as well. But I think there's going to be a lot more information that comes out. And I think it's good that this judge went off, because it brought more attention. You got, Melanie Little's already covering it. I'm covering it. But all of a sudden, brother counsel I see is covering it, which is amazing. Like, that's what we need. We're going to see a bunch more people covering this. I think it's showing up for this. Yeah, really hard. Yeah, Bradel had to try to speak at the end after she ended the hearing. I mean, that was. Let's listen to it. I want to listen to it. Watch it with all of you. Charlie, you be good. Charlie's crying. He wants more treats. I'll give him a treat.
Good afternoon. Calling Commonwealth versus Kelsey Fitzsimmons. This is docket number 2025-311 before the court in the defendant's motion. If the parties would please identify themselves for the record.
Good afternoon, James Gubachowski on behalf of the Commonwealth.
Good afternoon. Good afternoon, Tony Moriarty for the Commonwealth. Good afternoon. Good afternoon, Your Honor. Martha Copley for the defendant, Kelsey Fitzsimmons. Good afternoon.
Hello, Your Honor. Timothy Bradel for Kelsey Fitzsimmons. She's present in the courtroom today. For the record, to my left.
Good afternoon, Mr. Good afternoon, everybody in the courtroom.
Thank you.
So I received the defendant's emergency motion for immediate release from the Scram order. So I'll hear from the moving party.
Thank you so much, Your Honor. Judge, this is an issue.
All right. So I have to stop and respond to Joe Biffle because there's probably some newcomers here, especially if there's any family here that don't understand Joe. Joe is always throwing out jokes. Joe's a joker. It's usually at me. He's usually attacking me. But he says, she's choking that dog. Unreal. No, she is not. I'm a dog guy. That is not a choke. She's holding the arm. She's basically, let me like position your arm here. She's not choking him. He's so mean. Joe and his jokes. You never take Joe seriously, people. He's actually the nicest guy. He really is. Everyone knows. Biffle. Yeah, Biffle behaved today. Our mods are telling Joe. They love him, but they're telling him, look, Jeno, she's one of our best mods. She's saying, Joe Biffle behaved today. Not today, Joe. It's okay. I think I need a laugh. He is a friendly troll. That's the thing. How often do you have a friendly troll? He goes to the line. He doesn't go over. He's good. Yeah, you let us. I'm not fully understanding what happened and why the bail was revoked. Yeah, we aren't either. I think what people need to know, if you haven't known the background on this so far, I could tell you the background again. It's kind of reviewing what I did on my last show, but basically, what happened in this hearing is that Bradel had submitted some paperwork. Bradel and attorney I call it AG Martha Coakley. I'm saying Mara, but it's Mara Healy. Martha Coakley and Tim Bradel filed paperwork to change her release, to basically the conditions on her release. One of the conditions is that she blow into a tube and take alcohol tests 3 times a day. And she was having some issues doing that because she has liver damage, severe, this is what was put in the court filing, severe lung damage. She also got diaphragm damage and 2 broken ribs. So she's having trouble breathing, and she was doing it. Some of them were delayed, but she was doing it, but it was hurting her for hours after. She was in so much pain. And even the day that I was there, when she was getting released, the probation officer had noticed it immediately that she was having issues. And he sent an email and basically said, we'd like to change this if we can, Your Honor. We agree. There's an issue. She's in pain. And the judge, you'll see, instead of coming up with some new conditions, finding an alternative testing that doesn't include blowing into a tube, she decided to just throw her back in jail. And you're going to hear it. I mean, you will listen to what this judge says and how she treats Tim Bradel. And keep in mind, I'm pretty sure that she knows Tim Bradel. Apparently, I've been told that they used to work together. So can you imagine you used to work with this guy, you know him, and this is the way you're treating him? This judge has some issues. Listen to her, how angry she gets about nothing. Someone said, I still don't trust Coakley. I do. I trust her 100% on this. She cares. Number one, she cares about this. And if you talk to Courtney Healy, who's the Tim Bradel's paralegal, who does a lot of the victim advocate work for Tim Bradel, you'll know why Coakley is the real deal. Like, just she's in it for the right reasons. And I gotta say, when I saw Coakley with her dogs, man, she brought her dogs, man. She brought her dogs in the car to Salem District Court. I don't know who was driving, a guy. I don't know if it was a husband or driver. I have no idea. But they brought her dogs. I trust her. I do. I trust her. I'm a dog person. I know. Denise, I'm telling you, she wouldn't be here. She would not. She had no, she's here because this is a woman's issue, I'm happy she's here. All right, let's watch this. Let's listen.
That causes Ms. Fitzsimmons a lot of pain. And I don't want to conflate her being able.
Someone said, don't leave dogs in the car alone. That's the thing. They weren't in the car alone. She had somebody else bring them to her. I don't know if that was her driver or boyfriend, husband. I don't know. There was a dude open the back of the car, and the two labs were there, and they're happy as hell in air conditioning, and they're the most well-behaved, happy taking care of dogs. I know this instantly because this is what I do for my business. Those dogs are not in a car alone. She she's so much about the dog. She brings them up to Salem with her. You know what I mean? I mean and someone's out there with them. Yeah, I don't know if it's a driver. I'm imagining that's maybe her husband, boyfriend. I don't know. I don't know her marital status, but there was a guy driving the car with the dogs, which I loved. I was like, she brought her dog. She didn't want him to sit at home for 6 hours alone. She was like, we're going to get some activity. They were happy as me, like, oh, mama's back. We're here. We're here. We're at court. We're outside court. We're hanging out. Oh boy, 8,000. We started out 8,270 for Kelsey tonight. We're already up to 8,345. I'm seeing some contributions come in. Thank you so much, everybody who's donating. It's pinned to the chat. The Kelsey Defense Fund. Really appreciate that. It looks like I'm about to go over a benchmark for myself on my Give 7 Go too. Today we went over 16 G's, which was amazing, and now it's almost at 17. I am very happy about all the people who are stepping up. I really thank you for all the donations to Kelsey's fund and my fund as well. Yeah, it could have been a dog walker. Could have been anybody. I don't know. Could have been a family friend. Could have been a cousin. Could have been a brother. I had no idea. All right, let's watch this.
To pass the test because she's been passing them, but she has about 4 hours of pain and dizziness afterwards. And you know, I don't think anyone, and I know the court would share my thought that this shouldn't be a torture device for her. This shouldn't be something that causes her pain, impairs her rib healing, et cetera, et cetera. So, you know, we're not trying to get any sort of advantage over anything. We just want her to not,
That's what everyone's saying. Her husband is a retired cop. That's probably who it was. That's what I'm guessing. He kind of did look copish, like in a nice way too. You know how you have like it's funny how we stereotype cops, but he looked like a friendly cop. You know what I mean? Like a friendly retired cop. I would say that's probably him. He looked like a nice guy. So there you go. Husband's there with the two dogs, you know? All right, let's watch more of this. No more Martha Coakley talk.
not be in pain for hours after these tests, and B, you know, we just want her to not have the anxiety that if she has a difficulty doing it, that she's going to get a knock on the door and get locked up. We were told by the Elmo people that, you know, they may have to issue a warrant, and thankfully they didn't. And we appreciate, you have Mr. January's email regarding his own observations about what happened. And, you know, I think that says it all. That's someone that has no bias or interest, and, you know, probation enforces court orders, and that's that. And he is telling the court, this is a problem. And, you know, this is something that should be addressed. And
Okay.
so I see this as a simple adjustment of terms.
I don't see it that way, just so you understand where I'm coming from. I don't see it that way.
Okay, can I?
Okay.
I don't understand what you're saying, Judge.
Okay, what I'm telling you, it's not a simple adjustment.
You don't see it that way. It's like, oh. Scott McGinnis says those Scram portable breathalyzers are a difficult burden test for even a healthy person. The Scram calls upon the holder several times a day. Long, deep, strong exhale needed, or it's a fail. Exactly. That's it. And if anyone's ever had a breathalyzer machine, you know how those things work. You got to really blow into it. And there are definitely other alternates. And the probation officer was willing. The probation officer is just a normal person that wants to be helpful and supportive. And yeah, she is very combative right out of the gate. Oh, thank you, Laura. Laura says, my Boston Terrier Ladybug adopted because of you. Wow. You adopted her? Why is it because of me? I love it. Aw. How's she doing? Is she a good dog? Ladybug, huh? Oh, I like little dogs, but I like the little dog. It's funny because I used to like only big dogs, but I got a little dog now. I love the little dogs too. Like, because it's just like you just hold them like a little bug. They're like babies. I'm a big baby guy now too because we got the grandson Andrew, and it's just like it's the best thing. And we're gonna babysit next week. The kids are gonna go to a concert, and we're gonna babysit the baby, and I'm so looking forward to it because it's like one night of just love. You just hold the baby, and he loves us, and it's like, and then you give it back. Like you're like, all right, see you later, Andrew. Not my stress anymore. Like it's like all the love, not much of the stress. You know what I mean? Like, of course you still worry about your grandson, but it's not like 24/7 like the kids are dealing with. So we're gonna give them a nice night out. We're gonna have the baby, but I just love dogs like that too. Dogs are just little dogs, little babies. They're just so cute. All right, let's let's get back to this. No more baby and dog talk. Sorry.
One of the reasons she was released, and one of the reasons to ensure the safety of the community was for her to be alcohol-free. If she cannot do that or will not do that, that changes everything.
She's happy to be alcohol-free. She doesn't wish to be alcohol-free. It's just the means of determining that's the adjustment. That's what I mean when I say this is an
Okay.
adjustment that.
Well, a scram is what was ordered. Now, was she unable, when you said that there was a knock on the door, explain that to me. What
No,
happened?
Judge, that we don't want to have a knock on the door. She's living in fear of there being a knock on the door
Okay,
because of these tests. It's just not between the physical and then the mental anxiety. This is a very significant issue for her.
okay,
And that, we just want to adjust whatever means the court wishes to test her or figure this out is fine with us. But this is just a very difficult environment. And just, that's something that I just want to ask the court to adjust
Okay.
somehow.
okay. So you're asking the court to adjust the court's order that's been,
Yeah, this is a good point to make too. Like this hearing wasn't called because she was in violation. She wasn't out of compliance. The probation, like, weren't upset. Probation were like, sending emails like, we need to fix this for her. Like they were not upset. And Denise makes a good point. The sick part about this is that if Bradel never made this motion, the judge would have never known anything. Exactly. If Bradel hadn't made the motion, Lindsay, Kelsey would be out right now. Think about that. Now, she would have been at great risk because if she missed too many of those tests because she couldn't do it, right? And she probably would have been in pain. It probably would have hurt her healing. So I think, they had to file it, and they did it immediately because there was an issue. But it's crazy. This was proactive on the defense to get ahead of this so it wouldn't become an issue later. And I don't think that they had any expectation that this judge would turn around and say, oh, instead of trying to fix this issue that we see coming down the pike, we're just going to throw you back in jail. I don't think Bradel was ready for that. I saw some criticism too from, I think it's a lawyer that doesn't like Bradel, honestly, on Twitter. But they were saying he should have had more documentation. He had 2 signed affidavits, one from Kelsey, one from the mom. He also had the email from the probation department that I saw. I saw this email. That wasn't good enough. And she's going to say, oh, that's not documented. You'll hear what she says. She's very dismissive. And I think if Bradel had known that, he probably would have gotten some doctor. He probably would have taken her totally go to the ER, get a doctor's note. But this judge is not acting rationally. She's got a real, you start to wonder, you wonder, is she related to this guy that she keeps bringing his name up, the guy who shot Kelsey? Does she know him? I mean, I'm not saying she does, but geez, I just wonder. It's a small town, North Andover. And I know people over there. So if anyone knows this judge and knows the gentleman, I want to hear from you. Especially if you're in my network, if you're people I knew from the past, from maybe high school wrestling, Hit me up. Come on, Scarlet Knights. Hit me up. Let me know what's going on with them. Because there seems like there's something going on here. All right. It is sick. Someone said you could tell this judge isn't used to this type of case in front of her. I hope someone finds out she has inside relations to this case. Yeah, no, I have that feeling too. Like, because the hearing I was at, she was kind of nasty. But this hearing that we're listening to, where the press wasn't there, we didn't know about it. We didn't show up. We didn't get the heads up. She was even worse. So I have a feeling when people are there, she knows and she's on her like best behavior, and as good as it gets for her, which isn't good, but still, she's gonna have more eyeballs on her now. She's created a situation I don't even think she recognizes yet, and we're just getting started.
In effect for 3 days with no medical evidence to support your claim that she cannot do it.
Well, I think you have 2 affidavits and
No, wait, she says no medical evidence, right? Well, you can't say there's no medical evidence because you have a friggin' affidavit from the patient, from the defendant. If she was in a hospital, they call her a patient. The first thing they ask the doctor or nurse is say, are you in pain? Where does it hurt? She signed an affidavit. The mother signed an affidavit. Probation sent an email. I need medical. I mean, this lady just got out of jail after getting shot.
the email from probation. I think that's pretty persuasive evidence that this is extremely
The
difficult.
email from probation is not evidence. If you have any evidence, now is your opportunity to submit it.
I don't understand the court's position. That's not evidence.
Okay, it's an email, it's hearsay. Commonwealth, do you have a position as to the submissions of an email as evidence in this hearing to relieve the defendant, Ms. Fitzsimmons, of a condition that's been in effect for 3 days?
I don't want to put anybody on the spot, but we have the person who sent that email here.
Okay. So you have a burden, it's your motion, what do you want to do?
Well, Judge, I don't think that is the court saying that papers and emails and affidavits are not sufficient?
This is an email from a probation officer. The court gives that 0 weight.
0 weight from her own probation officer sitting there in this hearing. Email from him is 0 weight. She doesn't care what they say. Then why are they even there? Why doesn't the judge just run probation? Right? Does this judge want to be the probation officer and the judge? 0 weight. The guy's right there, too. He's sitting right friggin' in the room. Imagine working with her or for her or being married to her. What a power trip.
Well,
What
then
a
you have an
friggin' power
affidavit
trip.
from Ms. Fitzsimmons and you have an affidavit from her mother of the physical observations of what happens. I think that's, the more persuasive evidence than a doctor saying something to the effect of, I think it's self-evident and it's common knowledge that if you have broken ribs, that it's hard to breathe.
What
And-
evidence do I have that she has current broken ribs and that she's suffering from broken ribs at this time?
Well, you have an affidavit from her mother, you have an affidavit from Ms. Fitzsimmons, and the other day we were here, I submitted the instructions from Mass General about broken ribs.
Okay.
I mean, I just would just argue that it's,
We submitted a ton of medical paperwork on this woman. She got freaking broken ribs, and it is from a doctor. And here are the instructions. Remember what we already submitted, lady?
somewhat self-evident as well. Thank you. It's somewhat self-evident as well, and that, she's having great difficulty here. It's been observed by probation. It's been attested to by her mother, and it's been attested to by Ms. Fitzsimmons. So it's just a very difficult scenario for her that luckily she has passed the test, but then she's got hours of pain afterwards. And the one that she had difficulty with, out of an abundance of caution, we were dealing with Elmo, and we were informed that they may issue a warrant. And
So I
then-
want to hear about the one she had difficulty with. When was that?
Take a second on this.
Notice this right here. Human behavior. This judge didn't want to hear about. First, she said, this is when you know that they're full of shit and they have an agenda. First, she says she wants more evidence. She wants more, she's saying the email from the probation officer isn't good enough. Well, Brado reminds her, we've submitted medical paperwork that shows she has 2 broken ribs. What does the judge do? I don't want to hear about that anymore. I want to know the one test that she couldn't complete. You know why? Because she wants to send her back to jail, right? At one moment, she says she needs more documentation. Brado reminds her documentation has already really been provided on her medical conditions. So what are we talking about? Now she doesn't care about that. Now she's focusing on, so tell us about this one test that you couldn't complete. Why is she asking about that? Is she asking about that because she's concerned for Kelsey's physical well-being? No, not at all. Not at all. It's about throwing her back in jail, right? Transparent. This judge has a bias, and I want to know why. Judge McCarthy,
So that's what
you're not looking good, Judge McCarthy.
That's what I was saying, Judge. I don't want to conflate passing with not having difficulty. She has difficulty with every single test. And so she passes them in great pain. So she's had difficulty in every single one, equated, it's in the affidavit. So she has difficulty on every single one. So that's a different issue than passing the test. So she's experiencing difficulty all the way through. But the one that she was unable to was 9/9/25 at 3:09 p.m. I
believe she's actually in Chicopee, back in Chicopee. Someone asked me which jail is she in. I believe there was some concern whether they were going to send her somewhere else in the Cape, but I believe if I'm remembering this correctly, I believe they actually sent her back to Chicopee. All right.
guess.
And was that a required test that she was to do?
Yes,
And she was unable to perform it?
correct.
Okay.
See that? She's looking to send her back to jail. Is that a required test? And she was unable to perform it. Okay. This woman's ready. She wants to send her back. And you know why? Because it's inconvenience. She's annoyed. She thinks this woman's playing games. She got shot in the chest. She got 2 broken ribs. She's got damage in her lungs, severe lung damage. Judge could care less. Judge, we need medical. Bradel said, oh, we submitted medical. Remember that, Judge?
Was she unable to perform it?
No.
What happened?
No. So this, since she's been released,
Yes, we're in office.
Would you raise your right hand, please? Do you solemnly swear you will make true answers to such questions that may be put to you by the court or upon a
So this is the probation officer being sworn in, I think, and Mr. Allison.
direction, so help you
I
God?
do. Or if I could just pass this up, this is
Sure.
information pertaining to all of our Scram tests.
And is that being submitted, Attorney Bradel, as an exhibit for the purposes of this hearing?
Judge, I'd be more than happy to do that.
It's not more than happy to. You're either doing it or not.
Yeah, sure. Go right ahead, Your Honor.
Okay,
It
so we'll-
just says that she passed the test, so which is not an issue. The issue is that she's in extreme pain while doing it. Whether she passes. or not.
Okay, so there's one, Officer January that says incomplete at 9/10/25 at 3:09 PM. Is that right?
That's correct.
So what does that mean?
Yes. So what it means is there's a scheduled test that's programmed daily for her to be alerted and to initiate a test. And that happens. And so initially she answers the alert and attempts to take the test but is unable to complete the test. And based on my information, my conversations with Elmo is that is when she has difficulty either blowing as hard or as long, or a combination of both, into the machine to complete the test. So what happens after that is there are additional attempts to complete the test, which she tries, and then ultimately on that particular date, she successfully completes and passes the test on September 10th at 3:50 p.m.
Okay, what I have in front of me is an incomplete test at 9:10:25 at 3:09 p.m.
That's correct. And then if you just look
And then
right
it
above
says
that,
passed at 9:10:25 at 9:30 a.m.
okay, so you're looking, I'm referring to this the second document, it's multiple pages.
Mhm.
I think if you just go up instead of the one above it. the
Okay.
Incomplete is the.
So it's 3:09, it's incomplete, and then at 3:50 she passed.
That's correct.
See what's going on here? This woman is blowing into a friggin' tube at 3:09 p.m. as she's required. Let me turn off my ringer. Hold on. She's blowing into the tube at 3:09. It's not working. Not working. Incomplete. This judge is all caught up on the incomplete part, but within the hour, she blows into it and gets it to work. So she sits there and struggles for basically the next hour. She's not drinking. She has no alcohol in her system. She passed the test, but it took her an hour longer than it should have. And this judge wants to act like she did something wrong. What a tyrant.
So that's a period of 40 minutes?
40 minutes.
That's correct. And you'll see the same thing.
So the other one, which is
September 9th, yes.
September 9th,
Again, at 3 o'clock. The test is initially incomplete.
at 3:09, and then it's complete at 4:21.
Yeah, 4:20, 4:21.
So there were 2 times that she had an incomplete test. Is that
Yes,
correct?
Incomplete, and
And what's the procedure of the probation department when somebody who has a condition of release to have,
She wants to hang her up. You get to see it. She's like, oh, she was late twice. One time it was 40 minutes, and one time it was just over an hour. Oh, what do we do now? What do we got? What do you usually do? What do you usually do? I just got to say, the text was from the family. I got to say, her mom, her stepdad, and her dad are all watching tonight. And I'm sure they do appreciate all the love you're all sending her and the donations. So if you're in the chat right now, say hi to the family.
Scram, and to pass the Scram test in a very serious case, if they're incomplete. And I have 2 incomplete tests, and I was not made aware of either one of them.
so my first job when we get an incomplete test is to gather more information. And so, which is what we do. And so in response to the incomplete test, we call Elmo, we gather the information, which is she She answered the alert to take the test as scheduled. Unfortunately, she was unable to complete the test because she was unable to blow as long or as hard as needed to complete the test. So ultimately, at 4:20, she completes the scheduled test. There may be additional attempts in between, but ultimately she completes the test.
So that's for a period of
And so
an hour and 20 minutes.
that's correct. Now, in conjunction to the hour and 20 minutes, we also know that, and I observed it firsthand, that whatever the injuries are, which I don't know, actually doesn't really matter to me. But when I was doing the installation process and observed what was genuine pain, like genuine
Okay.
pain. So I know,
Any objection to any of the terms used by the
No.
probation officer? Okay.
so we have all that information. We don't deem that non-compliant. She's attempting to take the test and she ultimately passes the test at 4:20. So with all of the information, that's not non-compliant. That's compliance, and with her obstacles.
What do you, I'm getting confused. What do you mean compliant?
That's-
As far as when
that's-
she was initially,
That's compliant with Scram testing. She was ordered,
when she initially was, started to be monitored by Scram and you went through the preparations, is
yeah,
that
that's
right?
correct.
Okay. So when something is incomplete, you typically bring it to the attention of the
No.
court.
No, that's not what we do. So if something is incomplete, as in this case, at 3, on September 9th, at 3:09, we have an incomplete test, which is a scheduled test.
Mhm.
And then we have, that's simply not a non-compliance. If she had missed the test, that would generate additional responses from Elmo, and then that would determine whether or not there's actual non-compliance. It's someone missed the test because they were down in the basement doing laundry and then came up and realized that they had a test, took an on-demand test 20 minutes later and passed the test, which means there's no alcohol in the system. We don't deem that as non-compliant. That's compliance. If they missed the test and additional notifications were made by the electronic monitoring office regarding the missed test, and she feels,
I want to stop it right there. This is another person. Actually, where was it? Right. Hold on. I want to thank everyone who's all the comments coming in. But Olivia Niles in the chat. I saw she was posting as well. Again, this is why I'm kind of glad this judge acted up, because it got all the folks that we need to start looking into this. Olivia Nile is phenomenal on X and Twitter. She digs into the court documents. She's a great legal researcher, and she's making comments in the chat tonight. I think it might be time to do a show with Olivia on this as well. We could discuss this, what she's finding in the documents. Olivia writes, not only is the judge completely ignoring the current evidence on the record, she's also completely disregarding the grand jury's findings. Yeah, isn't it interesting what the grand jury found, right? Not nearly what they wanted. This is probably the silver lining. This is what I do in life a lot. I look for the silver linings when you get bad news, because a lot of times bad news turns out to be the good news you didn't know. And, it's a temporary setback. It sucks. But once you get over it, you realize, hey, this is actually the moment when the tide started turning for me. And I think maybe that is what's going to happen here, at least with the public, because I think the public had an interest in this from go, just because of who it was in the circumstances, postpartum, a mom. I think there's a lot to get people interested, but I think this judge in this audio People just think we all got Auntie Bev vibes, right?
To respond, or she failed to take an alert for another on-demand test. Now that's non-compliance, and we would initiate a pretrial violation notice and notify the district attorney's office. This particular case, I don't deem non-compliance because she's complying with the scheduled program. I'm aware of pain based on my observations from the installation process. So as long as she's attempting to take the test, continues to attempt to take the test, and then ultimately takes the test, that's not non-compliance. That's someone that's,
Well, that's
for
your,
me.
that's your position that's non-compliant.
Well-
It's really up to the court to decide whether somebody's compliant or not with conditions of release. What you're saying is,
To me, to decide, it's really up to me. Yeah, I don't really have to listen to you, Mr. Probation Officer. I don't have to really listen to Mr. Bradle either. I don't really have to look at any of his documentations or the 2 affidavits. It's up to me. I'm the one who, that's this woman. I wouldn't even want to split a lunch bill with her. You know what I mean? Imagine trying to split a tip with her. Split the bill.
those
It would
situations
never,
you
ever-
described is what you deem as appropriate to bring before the court.
It would, so I guess it would never be brought to court by way of a pretrial violation for an incomplete test with the information that
Yeah, it doesn't really matter what evidence you provide. I decide. I'm in charge. Yeah, Olivia says the judge basically, I don't really care if you're innocent. I decide if you're innocent or not. Hey, she is nasty.
talked about. So no, an incomplete test does not initiate a pretrial violation order from our end.
Right.
Because there are many reasons for a test to be incomplete. And there are circumstances where someone misses a test and then takes an on-demand test. That's not intentional non-compliance. And the goal is to test to ensure that the person's sober, and that's not, we don't deem that non-compliance. And we would never,
What the probation officer said, that she's not listening to. The judge is not listening to. The judge has just told the probation officer, you don't get to decide. I do. You don't get to decide who's in compliance. He just said, as a general practice, we don't consider this situation not complying. She is in compliance. She had trouble breathing into the tube. She continued to breathe into the tube until she got a result. That's all that should matter. These tests are to say, are you sober or not? If she was drunk an hour later, she'd still be drunk. You know, like, you don't get sober in an hour. She's taken the test. She's passing the test. She hasn't failed any test. She's not drinking. I know that the family has removed every bit of alcohol from the house. They weren't required to do that. The mom, not only did she remove every bit of alcohol from her household, she moved a 19-year-old kid out because the judge didn't like the kid got in some trouble in high school when he was younger, which is ridiculous because it was, from what I hear, it wasn't serious. It's kid shit. It's what a lot of kids get in trouble for when they're younger. We all, I mean, a lot of us get in trouble with drinking and drugs and all kinds of shit, right? When we're young. Come on. This kid's out of the house. The mother literally moved her 19-year-old kid out of the house so that Kelsey would be able to stay with her in a safe, place that the judge would approve of. Probation has looked at the probation says there are no red flags. Everything is perfect. This is good. Not good enough for this judge, because this judge, she decides. She's the boss.
We never have, and we never would, in this case, initiate a pretrial violation proceeding based on an incomplete test that was subsequently passed. And so, the schedule for her to be tested is something that we discussed. Wasn't ordered by the court. The court ordered someone to be alcohol free.
What do you mean we discussed? So she knows
I
what she's
just,
I mean, Laura says that is very typical. This happens to everyone here. You can't live with someone that has been in trouble if you're on probation. As a minor, like, I don't know, it's like, I think that judge was reaching on that one. I hate to say it. I mean, I could see if the kid got in some serious trouble when he was 25 years old. He was a kid. This is minor shit. This is stuff the judge shouldn't even do. They really look at records from kids when they were 15, 16 years old? I don't know. It just seemed weird. But whatever. I'm just saying. And even beyond that, I think it just demonstrates that the mother is willing to go a long way to make sure her daughter is safe and following court orders, right? I think that it shows that the mom takes this very seriously. I mean, that's the big thing. I'm not even saying the judge is wrong to do that. I think it's an overreach, but whatever. Like, let's say that's standard procedure. What I'm saying is that the mom and the stepdad and the father, who I met them all. These people care. Like, they're in it for Kelsey's well-being and the baby's well-being. And they're doing things the right way. And it's obvious. And the judge doesn't seem to have any, she's like, oh, the risk. There's no risk. If there's any risk, this family's going to let you know. You know what I mean? They're not going to let her drink. She's not going to let herself drink. And she's taking the tests and she's passing them. It'd be one thing if they came back and said, oh, we had 2 tests and they were positive for alcohol. That'd be different. Or she hadn't taken a test in 24 hours and she was not even trying. That would be different. She's taking the test. She's doing what she's supposed to. The family is too. The attorneys are. Everybody is. The family. Everybody. Probation is. Even the DA's office. I don't think they should have brought these charges. But on this, even the DA's office is doing what they're supposed to do. Just this judge. That's it. It's the judge.
be tested?
with Ms. Fitzsimmons. I discussed with the defense counsel about creating a testing schedule because it's more practical to have a schedule in place. There was no schedule that was ordered by the court. There's no frequency of testing that was ordered by the court.
It was
4 times a day, 3 times a day. None of that was ordered.
Oh, I got to
It was
stop it on
random.
this one. I'm glad you looked that up. Glad you brought this up. Freeloader Woodchuck says, is the officer who shot her really named McCarthy Noonan? I don't know. His name's Patrick Noonan. I've done a search on him. At one point, it came out Patrick M. Noonan. You know how you do those database searches? And it says it might be McCarthy. It says his name might actually be Patrick McCarthy Noonan, but I haven't confirmed that. So that's a good question. We need to find out. Is Patrick Noonan from North Andover, the cop who shot Kelsey, former Lawrence police officer, current North Andover police officer, is his middle name McCarthy? Is he related to this judge? I'd love to know. Her last name is McCarthy. It's kind of a weird coincidence if that's the case, right? Let's see how many times she talks about Mr. Noonan. Mr. Noonan is a big man. He's large. I have pictures of him. We should probably. I'm gonna go through some of the pictures of the characters, the cast of characters. The boyfriend. We got the boyfriend and her when they got engaged and they did the baby story. We got him. We got the Noonan when he became a North Andover police officer. And we got Judge Gray, Police Chief Gray. There's a lot of new cast of characters here. We're going to go through them all with a bunch of pictures in the near future. Maybe tomorrow night. I'm not sure. Either like Monday, Tuesday night. I want to do a show, too, on Judge Gray. I keep saying Judge. I used to have a guest on the show named Judge Gray back in the day. He was a libertarian. He ran with Gary Johnson for president and vice president. I keep saying Judge Gray, Judge Jim Gray. I'm talking about Police Chief Gray from North Andover. We're gonna do a story. We're gonna do something, a show on him about some of the lawsuits he's faced in the past and some of the allegations against him. He seems to be kind of a interesting character, to say the least.
Screens, excuse me, Ms. Officer January, it was random screens. Now you're telling me she's on a schedule to get tested? Is that what you're telling me?
We created a schedule,
With
as we always do.
Okay.
As we always
Like this judge is so friggin' bananas. Again, she's acting like her orders are so damn important compared to what they're actually doing at the probation officer. You can tell she wants to run the probation officer. I think this judge should just step down from the bench and send a resume into the probation department. Maybe she wants to run the probation office. Maybe that's what she should do now. Like, she's not good at being a judge. Maybe she can be a good probation officer. I doubt it, considering the way she's acting on the stand. But it's clear that she wants to be the probation officer and the freaking judge. Like, she's like, I asked for random. They're testing her 3 times a day. That's better than random. Because it's foolproof. If they do random and they don't test her for a couple days, maybe she did drink. I think tested 3 times a day is better than random, lady. You're not actually good at this. This probation office is doing the right thing. They want to make sure she's not drinking. So they tested her 3 times a day. That makes sense. Nobody could pass an alcohol test 3 times a day if you're drinking. She's like, I want it random. Like, maybe you should just not be a judge. If you get so upset about how testing of alcohol that the probation department deals with every single day is handled, you're so in the weeds. Maybe not be a judge.
do. Not in this particular case. We always do.
It was random screens that were ordered.
Judge, I don't have that. I don't have random screens anywhere in my materials, for the record.
Okay,
I don't know nothing about random screens.
okay.
Judge, just so I could clarify that. When we get an order, someone's placed on pretrial conditions that include remain alcohol-free with Scram testing. We always default to creating this testing schedule,
Okay,
and up to 4 times a day. So we'll schedule one for the morning, we'll schedule one for the mid-afternoon, we'll schedule one for the evening, and if we have to, we'll schedule one for later at night. And that's to ensure that sobriety throughout the day. In this particular case, we created a schedule for her to be tested at 9:30, 3 o'clock, and then at 8 o'clock. The only way we would not enter a schedule is if the court specifically said, I want the test to be done randomly. I don't want her to know when the tests are coming. And the test to be done randomly. And at that point in time, we would take her off a schedule, and then we would notify Elmo to be tested 4 times a day at random.
okay,
So that's done on this case, and it's done on every case.
okay. Attorney Bridle, do you have anything else to submit?
Judge, I would just offer, I respect and I heard your Honor's take on the probation email, but for the record, I would move that into evidence as well. And I just want to also
Commonwealth, do you have a position as to the admission of the email?
Well, I think we just heard with the email.
All right, so the email is excluded. Anything else, Attorney
No, my
Bradley?
objection, Your Honor.
Sure.
And Judge, I just want to state that on the pretrial conditions of release, it says comply with remote alcohol breath testing.
Okay. I don't know if that's what was ordered. I'm going to go back and listen to FTR.
I can tell the court from where I sit, I didn't remember any use.
I mean, you may very well be right, but I'm going to go listen.
Judge, I just want to clarify something. My email, and I know but it's important that the court knows, I didn't make a recommendation that Scram condition be vacated. I never did that. I never suggested, it's all that email was.
Attorney, Officer January, nobody's asking you questions. Your testimony is complete. Are you asking to make a statement to the court sua sponte?
If the court's under the belief that I recommended that condition be vacated or removed, then yeah.
I
Because
haven't
this-
said anything one way or the other, sir. We're here for one purpose and one purpose
Okay.
only, and that's
Thank
for the motion to vacate the Scram device. So do you have anything else to submit, Attorney Bradle?
No, no.
Okay, Commonwealth, do you have anything?
No, I have no evidence to submit other than the arguments that I talked about, how important that the Commonwealth's belief is in light of the court releasing the defendant, that testing be done.
Okay. Attorney Bradle, I'll hear, first of all, I do have a question. So Ms. Fitzsimmons is able to do the Scram, is that correct? Or is she not able to do it? I don't know. Is she not able to do it?
I think, that depends on whether the court is willing to tolerate that the material represented in the
The court
affidavit.
is not tolerating anything. Okay, let's be clear. I'm not tolerating anything. The court is not tolerating anything.
I mean, god damn lady. Yeah, he said if. She asks him a question, he answers the question, she jumps down his throat about the word tolerating. This lady's just looking. She's looking.
Ms. Fitzsimmons is a defendant. In lieu of incarceration, my order was that she submit to Scram. If she cannot do that, I need to know that. Can she do that or not?
She can do it
Okay,
under the terms that are
So-
laid out in the
so
affidavit
you're saying she can do it on her own terms?
with significant pain and dizziness and
Said she can do it, but she's going to be in pain. And she throws in, oh, she can do it on her own terms. Why would she make up words that he didn't say? This judge has a bias against Kelsey. It's clear as day. What is the North Andover connection, Ms. McCarthy? Judge, you're honorable.
having to recover for several hours.
I understand what you're saying. It is certainly not the court's intention. It's not the court's position to have Ms. Fitzsimmons in any pain at all. So I appreciate your argument. Do you have anything else to add?
I would suggest, Judge, that I think there's other ways to do this. If the court wishes to have her tested for alcohol compliance, lack of alcohol, that's completely fine with the defense. But just the means that's being employed is kind of a torture device for her.
Okay.
And so we object on due process grounds to that.
Oh, okay.
But
It is not this court's intention
I understand.
to torture Ms. Fitzsimmons at all. The court's goal is to make sure the community is safe and Officer Noonan is safe. So I hear you loud and clear that the defense views Ms. Fitzsimmons having to do the Scram as cruel and unusual and torture. Is that your position?
Well, that's an Eighth Amendment position. I suppose that
Okay.
can be put in there as well. But Judge, I think that, that there's probably other alternatives that she could do that I believe are out there but I know that might step on the court's other order for house arrest, that you would have to go to a facility. I know there's like urine tests and other things like that. So I know there's other possibilities out there that, again, she's not trying to use this to create a situation where she can go drink alcohol. That's
Okay.
not at all what this is about. So I just want to ask the court to consider any other alternatives that might not pose this type of an issue.
Okay.
Thank you.
Attorney Gubitosi or Attorney Moriarty, do you have anything to add?
No.
Okay, I'm going to leave the bench for a few minutes. I'll be right.
Court, hold on. Goes back in session, is it?
Your Honor, we're back on the record with the Fitzsimmons matter.
Okay, good afternoon, everybody. So I have reviewed everything again that's been submitted to me. And I will state for the record that Fitzsimmons has moved twice in a 3-day period to amend her conditions of release. On neither occasion has she submitted any medical evidence to support her claims.
Times were medical issues. The first time was when I was in court, was when Tim Bradle said she's going to have surgery tomorrow and you got an ankle bracelet on her. And my experience is when we go bring in a patient into day surgery, oftentimes the surgeons will ask that the ankle bracelet be taken off. We talked to probation. They said they'd do it for her. These are two times she's had medical requests with this judge, and the judge has made a big deal about it.
The imposition of conditions is the court's order after careful consideration of the evidence to fashion the least restrictive conditions that will reasonably assure the appearance of the defendant and the safety of all other persons in the community pursuant to General Laws, Chapter 276, Section 58A2B. Just days ago, the court concluded that the condition of remaining alcohol-free and submitting to Scram monitoring was necessary to ensure the safety of the community. After a thorough review of all of the arguments and submissions by the Commonwealth and Fitzsimmons, that conclusion remains unchanged, regardless of Fitzsimmons' claimed physical limitations. Based on an affidavit submitted by Fitzsimmons' mother, the testimony of Assistant Chief Probation Officer Jeff January, about his observations of Fitzsimmons' apparent pain during the Scram installation, and the representations of Fitzsimmons' counsel that it would be cruel and unusual punishment and torture to continue to require Fitzsimmons.
You hear she said that? That's like a mom that is really fed up with the kids. You know what I mean? That's been pushed to the limit. She got some bad kids and she just had enough. Or like a teacher, like a bad teacher. That reminds me like a shitty school principal. You know, you ever see one of those shitty school principals that are not up to the task? Some principals are great, but you know what I'm talking about. Her tone of voice, it is torture, lady. And this is what you're doing. You said, you know, oh, if we can't torture her, we're going to throw her in jail. Oh, aren't you compassionate, lady?
Fitzsimmons to comply with the condition of being monitored by Scram. The court concludes that Fitzsimmons cannot abide by the condition of being monitored by Scram. Without this condition, which ensures that she does not consume any alcohol, the court cannot assure the safety of Officer Noonan and all other persons in the community. Accordingly, the court's prior order of release is vacated, and Fitzsimmons is ordered to be held without bail pursuant to Mass General Laws, Chapter 276, Section 58A. And a written order will
May I
follow.
address the court?
That's the court's order. Thank you.
All
Your
right.
Honor, I object. I ask you to stay your order pending the SJC. And there are other alternatives Your Honor can accomplish.
And she was crying. Did you hear that at the end? Kelsey was crying. And I know the mom was crying too. Oh, man. We're just gonna keep going. We're gonna support her as much as we can because there's something that's not right on this. We know it. And I'm expecting a lot more to come out. Like I said, October 7th, September 24th, maybe. If you can be there. I know some people are scared of Halloween. I'm telling you, I'm in the area. I drive through town all the time, Salem, during Halloween. Anything before noon, you're fine. You are. You are. Especially October 7th. That's early. So you'll be fine. Anyone coming in, you will be fine. Don't worry about the Halloween thing. If it was at 2 p.m., a little different. A little different, because that's when people start coming in in the afternoons. So I wouldn't, yeah, it's not that bad. Especially downtown. And especially you have a parking garage. You know, it'd be one thing if you were going like right through the center of town, going through the other end. You're not. You'll be fine. You're like right next to the center of town. It's like on the outskirts. So you get a big parking garage there. Or you take the train in. That's even the easiest way. Take the train in. Or take an Uber. But I hope people come in. I'm going to be there. I'm definitely going to be there. October 7th is the Superior Court hearing in Essex County, Salem, Massachusetts at 9 a.m. And like I said, the family would love us if we could wear purple to support her. Red is actually Kelsey's favorite color. But purple is the color of the gemstone for her baby, her son. So we're going to hopefully be wearing purple. I don't really have any purple stuff. I love Prince, Purple Rain. So I'm going to have to find some purple to wear. I don't know what I'm going to dig out of that. Maybe I have some stuff in the closet when I was a financial advisor. I got a lot of like old business stuff in a different closet. Sometimes I wear it, but maybe I have a purple shirt. Well, if not, I'll buy one. Can they get a date any sooner? I don't know. I hope so. Um, I will say that Bradle has filed more paperwork for reconsideration. Maybe it will happen sooner than later. I don't know. Maybe this judge will come to her senses. You did hear Bradle say SJC, so you know he's going to probably appeal to the state Supreme Court to the SJC. So we'll see. I'm sure they're doing everything they can. Everything. I mean, I was supposed to have a phone call back that day, and I didn't get the call back, and I knew something was up. I knew, and then I got, somebody else called me and kind of gave me a hint, and then I followed up on it, and I realized what was going on. So they're definitely working on it. Like, they're trying to do everything they can. If you know Courtney and Tim Bradle, they're working on it. They're hard workers. Courtney's phenomenal. She's a great paralegal. And they got Martha Coakley too, and I heard Martha Coakley was very upset. I think Martha Coakley's eye. It's funny, people saying, I don't think we can trust Martha. I heard someone say that in the chat tonight. I've seen that a few times. I think Martha's eyes are being opened. I think Martha's like a lot of us, you don't believe it, especially when you're in a certain place. She's starting to see some stuff that she's not used to. She's like, what? What? Are you kidding me? I'm Martha. Don't you know I'm Martha Coakley? You can't do this. Because Tim Bradle knows it. Tim Bradle's been saying this for a while. He's like these when he came on my show, he talked about the suburban district attorney's offices. And Tim Bradle comes from Suffolk County when he was a prosecutor from Boston. He's basically saying, no, it's not Boston that's all corrupt in the courthouses. It's these suburban, the suburban district attorney's office, Norfolk County being one of them, Essex County being another. There's some shady shit going on. And I think Martha is like, holy shit. Like, did that just happen? Yeah, it's like witchcraft again, too, right? It's a couple hundred years ago. Here we are, 300 years later, still the same shit going on. Yeah, and TB has court too on the 23rd. So we're gonna have a busy month. Yeah, because 23rd is Turtle Boy. I think 24th, unless that gets rescheduled, is probate family court for Kelsey. And then October 7th. So there's a lot coming up this month. There's a lot coming up. And that's the mega motion for Turtle Boy. Bettero's been writing. He's getting ready. Did you all see? I was so angry at myself that I shouldn't have I shouldn't have worked. Like I didn't need to work, but I felt like I needed to because of this lawsuit. I can't say no to business right now. But I was just watching some of the photos from the Wilbur and seeing Bettero and all of them having the best, Melanie Little, Glara, Turtle Boy. They're having the best time ever. And I'm like, I should have been there. And I saw JFK, Kevin Kev, James Jackson. I should have been there. That looked like so much fun. And Bradle and Courtney were there too. Like Bradle, Bettero, everybody was there. And they looked like they were having so much fun. And Bettero looked like he was having a lot of fun at the Wilbur. I don't know. Did people see it? Like Bettero always look like if you're in a social situation with Bettero, like whether it's going to the Kowloon or wherever, he always is having fun. He's just like, he's enjoying it, but he even seemed even more dialed in from those pictures. I was just like, he's really enjoying this. I could tell. Yeah, it must have been good. It's sold out too, Yeah, JFK, James Jackson. Yeah, those guys streaming outside. I love them. I was watching a little of that. It made me feel like I was there. That was fun. Oh, he roasted Aiden? When do I want to? Yeah, I hope Howie talks about it too. Who just posted that? It's hard to keep up with the comments. Here it is. Linda says, I hope Howie talks about this. I think Howie actually has talked about Kelsey a little bit. I'm scheduled to host the Grace Curley show again this Friday. And I'm going to be talking about it on there. And who knows? We'll see what happens. I'm hoping we get a big interview on it. We'll see on Friday on the Grace Curley show about this. We'll see what happens. And that is the Howie Carr Radio Network. Yeah, I heard something about a drink got thrown and ended up on Bettero. I don't think they intend I don't know what happened. I haven't talked to Bettero. I haven't talked to anyone about this. I just saw a few comments. A few people seem to indicate that two women were maybe going at it, and Bettero was the unintended target of the drink. Unfortunately, that got thrown. I don't think anyone's mad at Bettero though. How can you be mad at Bettero, right? I heard it. I heard a drink did get thrown at Bettero, unfortunately, at the casino after, but I don't know why. I have a feeling it was just a drive, like he wasn't the intended target. I'm guessing. No one's going to be mad at him, right? Right. I want to thank Carla for becoming a new member tonight. Carla Maria, thank you so much for becoming a new YouTube member. I love to see that. Welcome to the jerk. You're a jerk now. I don't know if you know that, but you become a member here, you become a jerk. And you also get special gifts you can post in the chat. You can post my little Charlie. Who else is on there? I don't even know. I'd have to. You can post little gifts with the membership. I think we're gonna add some more too. Thank you so much for becoming a member. Paul Youngs, Esquire. He gifted one Young Jerks membership. Thank you so much, Attorney Paul Youngs, Esquire. Thank you so much, sir. Very much appreciate that. I love when attorneys are watching. Mike B from the 413. That's a Massachusetts area code. I believe that's Western Mass or Central Mass. Did the judge say why ankle GPS combo not good? No. The judge didn't want to discuss any alternatives. Did you hear that? Bradel's like, there are other alternatives. That's what the email from the probation officer was about. We can look at other alternatives, Judge, if you agree. She wouldn't look at them. She wouldn't even discuss them. She wouldn't even let it be brought up. You heard her. Ridiculous. Thank you, Ask Bob. Bob has been a member now for 16 months, bro. Thank you so much. You've been a regular. You're always here. Thank you so much, Ask Bob. I want to thank our mod team. Jeno, I saw in the chat tonight. Thank you, Jeno. I want to thank Sarah and Chuck and her. I think she's busy with some friends tonight, which I'm glad. I mean, it's funny. She always apologizes like when she's got something going on, and it's like, don't apologize. You have a life, and I'm glad you have a life. But she's out enjoying her weekend as she should be. I want to thank MJ as well. She's always kicking around, very helpful. She's got a lot of family responsibilities as well. I want to say hi to her granddaughter, Ari. Hi, Ari. Hopefully you're watching tonight. And Scott McGinnis, I saw him in the chat. And Stephanie, I want to thank Stephanie as well. Yeah, and that was the entire point of the motion. Exactly. Leah Baker says, that was the entire point of the motion. Exactly. To come up with some alternatives. Judge, she's having a problem blowing into the tube. There are other ways to test for alcohol. Let's talk about it. Even if it's more costly for Kelsey. Kelsey is willing to pay more money to continue the alcohol testing because she doesn't want to hurt her ribs or hurt her healing. That's what it was. It's very simple. Scott was sort of here, but he's watching football. Scott, I should be watching my fantasy because I got smoked. Well, I didn't get smoked, but I lost by like 5 points last week, fantasy league, week 1. And I'm so frustrated because these kids, there's no money on the line. This is family. This is family bragging rights. And these kids keep whipping my ass in fantasy. But this week, I am up big, bro. Right now, it's 121 to 104. They're done. They only got 104 points. I already won. I still got two of my best players on Monday night. I'm looking at between 156 to 160 points. I already won. My 2 best players are playing Monday night. I'm kicking ass this week. Now I'm at 1-1. My team, and it's not even Monday night. My team's back. My team, I would have won this week with my bench. I got a strong fantasy team this year. I got a deep team. It's always the problem on my team. It's like figuring out who to start because they're all good. I got a good team this year. Last week, if I had made a couple tweaks on the who would have played, I would have won again. This week, it didn't even matter. So I don't even have to watch. Yes, before I go tonight, Kelsey's link is pinned at the top of the chat. If anyone wants to donate to help her, I will do the same for the people in the replay. I'll try to post it in the comments as well. And I want to thank everyone who's been donating. Bisky just donated. Thank you so much for donating. Yes, I got new glasses. I got 2 new pairs. Look, they're already dirty. See the new frames? Look, instead of being total black, they're like, I don't know, leopard color or something. They're almost like they match they're like dark and light, like they match my hair color. So it's a little blondish. So yeah, I got new frames, new glasses. I also got sunglasses, and I got my eye appointment coming up. And it's funny because that is October 8th. That's the day after the Kelsey hearing. So I'm going to see a specialist. I want to thank everyone who's also been donating today to my defense fund because I really do need the support. It's been costing me some dollars. It's getting very expensive, unfortunately. And it looks like we're almost at 17,000. We weren't even at 16,000. We've raised over $1,000 today. I think almost probably 2,000 today on my defense fund. It's 16,960. We're $40 away from 17,000. That's friggin' amazing. You don't even know how much that means to me. Anonymous Giver gave $20. Groovy Cheryl gave $25. Casey gave $10. Karini Trigg just gave $100. It's amazing. And they're all coming from Zelda. Zelda is so nice. She's a psychic. She did a reading on me. I really like her. Zelda Kelly, Lady Zelda Kelly on YouTube. She did a fundraiser for me. She's got such a pleasant way. I really like what she does. She's very nice. She's not gimmicky. She's like a public service. Anonymous giver gave 50. Sherry D gave another 20. Sherry D gives a lot. Thank you so much, Sherry D. Kathleen gave 10. Mary Malaki gave another 25. She's another regular donor. Thank you, Mary. Amy Leah gave 10. Zeldinator Supreme Juju gave me 20 today. Rhonda Hinckley, CJK, and Merritt. Michelle Leonard, Nancy R. Lothario gave another 500 to my defense fund today. She kicks ass. She was in the chat tonight as well. Thank you. And she also was on the Zelda show. Thank you so much, Dan. She gives a lot. It gives a lot of her time and a lot of her resources and a lot of her attention. I really appreciate Nan. Kippy Hippie also gave $5 to my defense fund today for Lady Zelda, Gloria, Christina, Roxy, Debbie M., Christina Reynolds, K.S. Granny, Farah gave 10. Andrea Clark gave $5 today. Melissa Hendricks, Laura Darby, Heather Davids, Mary Westenberg, Amy Scarcella, Bob, Boda Bob. So many donations came in today through Lady Zelda Kelly. I want to thank her so much for doing this fundraiser. People really enjoy her show because of the way she is. She's been doing this for 50 years. She did a reading on me. I'm not usually into that stuff, but I really did enjoy it. She's really good at it. And she just does it for everybody. I think she was doing it for some of the other folks like Nan and B who are on the show today. Jana Herbert did $25 as well. Rhonda B, Laren D, Laura Jill Reicher sent $10. Kathy McDonald, Sue Mo, Lindsay Martin, Carissa from the Cab Show. I think I got them all. And there's also, for Lindsay, we're raising more money for her. She's pinned to the chat as well, in the YouTube chat right now. $8,390. We raised some money for her tonight, a couple $100 for her as well. I'd like to see that go up some more. Give, Send, Go / help Kelsey heal is her Give, Send, Go. GiveSendGo.com / help Kelsey heal. If you want to donate to her defense fund as well tonight, $8,390. We have raised some money for her as well tonight. I appreciate everyone who's been donating to both of those defense funds. Really appreciate it. If you want to find the Young Jerks defense fund, it's GiveSendGo.com / the Young Jerks. Remember, Jerks is spelled JURKS. I thank and appreciate everyone who's been supporting, donating, contributing, sharing, commenting, and just viewing and watching. That makes the big difference. If you're watching this, especially if you watch from beginning to end, it helps get the word out. It helps attract more fundraising too, because the watch time, the amount of time that you watch us, that makes all the difference in the algorithm in terms of getting more people to see in what we do, even more than liking and sharing. It's that watch time. So if you're a regular viewer and you're supporting what we're doing here for Kelsey, I very much appreciate it, because it does help bring in new donations and new viewers and all of that. So thank you so much, everybody. Am I streaming the King hearing tomorrow morning? I don't know. What time is that, Kyle? Hit me up. I'm going to have to look it up. I'm not sure. What time is it? I'll have to hit up the court because I don't have anything. So I would have to know what time it is and see if I can arrange my schedule around it. But I should be able to do that sometime. I believe on Wednesday, too, there's also Canton Police Chief search meeting happening. If Canton Select Board, Canton Community Television is broadcasting that, which I hope they are, or recording it, I'll be sharing that as well this week. So look, make sure you subscribe and check us out, especially every night this week, and just check it out, because I could be streaming. A lot of nights I do it last minute right now. I don't have a lot of guests planned, but I'm definitely going to do some more shows on Kelsey. Like I said, I want to look into Police Chief Gray, and I guess the King hearing is 2 p.m. tomorrow, so I'll try to do that as well. John Trout wants to know, am I going to the Freedom Rally? You know, it's so funny. I used to go there every year. I produced 10 years of them. I was the main music booker for 10 years of them. I probably went to 15 years straight of them. I was working them, volunteer for them every year. I doubt I'll be there. It's really hard for me to take time off and spend the time at the Freedom Rally, which would be a lot of fun. I love doing it. But I got the show, and I also got family commitments with the grandbaby. So it's really hard for me to give up my weekends now between work and the baby and the show and the dog business. It's really hard. But I hope everyone has fun there. But I'm not going to say no. I'm not going to say definitely not, because you never know, John. You never know. I would love to go. So if there's any chance, if I get an opening, let's say in the afternoon that day, you never know. I might just drive in. You never know. But I'm not committed to it. I can't commit to it. Boston Freedom Rally is coming up. It's a free concert on the Boston Common, usually the third Saturday in September. I think that's when it is this year. Masscan.org if you want to find out about that. It's a big cannabis activism rally that's been held for 30 billion plus years. Not 30 billion, but 30 plus years. It's a long running event. I ran it, booked the music for it for a good 10 years. I hope people have fun there. So King is 2 p.m. I'm going to try to air that. If we can get the stream up and running tomorrow, yeah, we'll try to do that at 2 p.m. The Walsh, not the Walsh hearing, the King hearing. Oh, he's also, so there you go. We'll try to get them both up, because usually if they're at Norfolk County at 2 p.m., they're both. So I guess it's going to be the Walsh and King hearing tomorrow. The tubes of you are spreading the word about KF's case. I hope so. I hope so. We're doing the best we can. That's the point, right? Oh yeah, I will have Juna Perkins on. I don't know if people saw that, but she came on when I was on Grace Curley, when I was hosting the Grace Curley show. Was a fill-in, my first time filling in there, which is almost basically a week ago, a little more than a week ago, 10 days ago. She came on the show and I had a great interview with her. And I did upload it as a video on our YouTube page. So if you haven't seen that, check out Juna Perkins. I did just interview her within the last 10 days, but I definitely will have her back on the Young Jerks for Alive as well. I'd like to have her for an extended interview. We did 2 segments there, which was good. But definitely, we'll continue to have Juna back on. And I don't know if you saw on her Facebook, she just put about a video out about what she broke on my show, which is about the FOIA requests. She's requested from Michael Morrissey's office all the non-prosecutes, the no-pros. It's basically when when someone's either been arrested or summons has been issued for someone to have charges against them, and Michael Morrissey's office decides not to prosecute them. There's been a lot of rumors. She's heard this on the campaign trail a lot from voters that they want her to look into this. So she did a FOIA request of Michael Morrissey's office, the DA's office in Norfolk County, and said, I want a record of all your null pros. I want to know every single null pros that you've done from this date on. And so far, she hasn't had a response. They haven't responded. She just put a video out about it on her Facebook page. You should definitely check it out if you haven't. I love that she's following up. I love that she's doing the videos. And I'm glad that she's doing the FOIAs and trying to get more information. And she is likable. I think some people give her a little crap because she's not a professional politician and they want her to be more hard-nosed. But she is very likable and she's very nice and she's accomplished and she means what she is in it for the right reasons. Yes, the judge was a defense attorney in North Andover and she lives in North Andover. And I think this judge has a lot of connections in North Andover. So we need to find out. Who's the prosecutor? The prosecutor is a former police chief. He's a guy I know. He's a former Salem police chief who then became the Mass State rep from the area. His name's Paul Tucker. And the DA for a long time was a guy named John Blodgett for decades. John Blodgett had some issues. Some prosecutor, he prosecuted the wrong guy, basically, on another stupid little case. And they lost, and I think he was embarrassed, and he decided not to run for re-election. He endorsed Paul Tucker, who was like I said, a retired Salem police chief. He endorsed Paul Tucker. There was a criminal defense attorney running. So there's an open seat. There were two strong candidates, police chief, defense attorney, running against each other. This defense attorney came on my show. He had one of the best Zoom backgrounds I've ever seen. His office, we were like, wow, this guy's like Batman. He reminded me a little bit of Betterow, actually, the attorney that ran against this police chief. And it was a close race. Like, I didn't think it was going to be close. Like, I thought Paul Tucker was going to win because he's got a name. People know Paul Tucker. This defense attorney, like, really, it was a close race. It was decided like 1% or less. So, Paul Tucker won. The institutional candidate won. The former police chief won. He is the district attorney in Essex County. Former police chief Paul Tucker. I don't know who's actually the one who's prosecuting it, the ADA, but I do know who the DA is. Oh, hi, Britt Happens. I'm glad to see Mazza in the chat and Britt Happens as well. And that's the thing. I know Mazza said he's going to start covering this as well. I'm hoping that all the YouTubers start covering this Kelsey case. And Nanny is lovely. Yes, she is. She's the lady in red today too. You see she got the red hat, the red lipstick. She's looking fine today. Yes, there is a recall initiative. They're collecting signatures right now. The problem is it's very hard to get on the ballot. I've done these ballot initiatives before with volunteers. I don't know if they have any money, but it's hard because you got to get a certain amount of. Not only do you got to get like a 500,000 plus signatures, you got to get a certain amount from each town. So just even hitting it's really difficult. You can't just get like all the signatures from like Eastern Mass where a lot of the people are. You have to actually go to every single town and get a certain amount of signatures. So I hope they do get that on the ballot. One of the key people behind it has hit me up, and we're gonna have him on the show. We're definitely gonna promote that. And I would suggest too, if people see people collecting signatures at supermarkets, go sign some, especially for the ballot initiatives. Except for the cannabis one, don't sign the cannabis one. They want to ban cannabis. Please don't. It will cost the state a lot of money. It will create a lot of crime. If you ban cannabis again, crime is going up. I'll just say that right there. But a lot of the other initiatives, like the recall, please sign it if you see them gathering signatures. There's also the one to extend the FOIA law to the Mass State House and the governor, that Diana DiZoglio. She also broke that on my show too. Is that I say my show? It was actually the Grace Curley show, but the show that I was the host. The episode I was the host of the Grace Curley show. She was on the show, and Diana DiZoglio broke on that show as well that she's doing a ballot initiative to get FOIA to go as far as the governor and the Mass State House, the state reps, the state senators. Right now, they've excluded themselves. So, if you can, if you're at your supermarket, your post office, you see someone gathering signatures, ask them what they're gathering signatures for. If it's for a ballot initiative, for FOIA, Freedom of Information at the State House, or it's to do the ballot recall, to recall politicians, sign those. Please sign those. And if you can, like and subscribe to our stream if you haven't already. All right. And I do owe, one thing I'm going to do too. Here it is. I forgot to put this up tonight. On the ticker at the bottom, there is a give, send, go for me for my defense fund. I am being sued for defamation. What we do is if someone gives a donation there, you can send a screen capture of the donation to my email, mjcboston1@yahoo.com, with your mailing address. It's $10 donation on the Give, Send, Go, $25 outside the U.S. If you send a donation to the Young Jerks Legal Defense Fund, I'll send you out a free Young Jerks sticker. And I think I'm out of these Young Jelly. I'll look for more, but I still have some more 3Ms. I think we may be out of these. You may not get any Young Jelly, but I think you'll get some 3M stickers. But we'll send you some stickers if you make a donation. We can also, the same goes for Kelsey. If you make a donation to Kelsey tonight as well, or you already did, you could send me an email. Just send your mailing address and proof that you made the donation. Usually you get a confirmation email back when you give the donation. So just send me a screen capture of that, and I'll send you the stickers out. I'm actually behind. There's a few people that gave last week that I haven't sent them out yet on. I definitely will be sending those stickers out. Be patient. Usually I do them right away, but there's only been a couple this week, so I'm kind of like, I'm going to wait until I get a few more, and then I'll I like to do them all at once. So, and yes, Kelsey's donation fund is linked at the top of the chat right now. Yeah, I'd like to see a speedy trial initiative too. That would be a good one to add. I'm just reading your comments before I head out. Yeah, I know, right? It's funny because the TV cameras left the other day, unfortunately. But Jemmy, I think we might see Martha speaking. We'll see. I have a request in for her. We'll see what happens. Oh yeah, Turtle's going on at 8 apparently. I gotta go then. All right, I'm gonna head out. Thank you so much, everyone. Have a great night. You've lifted my spirits this weekend, I gotta say, by both donating to Kelsey's fund and seeing other YouTubers picking up this cause and my fund. So I thank you so much for watching, supporting, and being there for me. I will see you soon. You want me to send you over to Turtle Boys Live? I can. It'll just gonna take me a minute. Once we can do that, we'll send everyone to Turtle Boy. Just give me a minute. Actually, 1 sec. How do I do it? I know how to do it. Yeah, we'll all go over to Turtle Boy together. Why not? Let me find it. Hold on. Yeah, I'll redirect us all. We'll all meet up again in just like a minute over at Turtle Boy Live, if I can get it up. Hold on. Oh, there it is. Wilbur's Show Overview. That's the one, right? All right, we're all gonna reconvene, rendezvous, meet up. Episode 807, Wilbur Show Overview. Cosgrove won't give phones back, and a Diva update. I'll see you over at Turtle Boy in just a minute. And again, I want to thank everyone for watching, supporting, donating, being here, liking, sharing. I'll see you over there. Let's do a Jerks raid. Have a good night, everyone. I think I might see you tomorrow night, if not Tuesday night. We'll see you soon. And again, I will try to stream those hearings tomorrow at 2 p.m. Have a good night, everyone. Bye. Peace.